Um, Y'all have been doing split for a while, so I don't understand why we're even talking about back child supports. Y'all have been splitting the cost 50-50. Maybe one of you makes more money than the other, but I don't usually try to do a difference in what is. Do you both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. All right, note that both are present. Go and proceed.
Your Honor, this is a paternity action. The parties have reached almost a full agreement. I'll read the agreements into the record. The contested issues are geographic restriction, possession, child support, and retro. Parties are in agreement for paternity to be established today for the child Elena Jupiter, 9/22/2017 date of birth. Neither party is claiming the need for a non-disclosure. Both parties deny family violence. Both parties are in agreement to a joint managing conservatorship for the parents, the mother to be named the conservator to designate the primary address of the child. Parties stipulate that the father is employed at a gross income of $7,417, net resources $5,616.70. Medical support should be zero, as the father has agreed to carry the child or continue carrying the child for health, vision, and dental through his employer. There is not a request for a name change, and court costs as billed to the father. I will now call the mother. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Erica Lewis.
And ma'am, can you confirm the full name of the child?
Yes, Elena Josephine Jupiter.
Her date of birth?
Yes, September 22nd, 2017.
Who is her biological father?
My late Jupiter.
And ma'am, at the time that the child was born, were you married to anybody else?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And ma'am, did you hear the agreements that I read into the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Are those portions still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am. With the slight change, I did mention that I wanted her last name to be changed to include both of ours rather than just one.
All right, guys, let's break this down. The judge wastes no time calling out the core issue. Why are they even arguing over back child support when they've been splitting everything 50-50? That opening alone sets the tone. The attorney lays out a near-complete agreement, but the real tension sits in custody, money, and control. This case isn't about confusion, it's about someone trying to shift the balance late in the game.
Okay, so let's, besides that, and we can address that in a second, did you agree to the other things that I announced?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the child's last name now is Jupiter, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you want the child's last name to be?
I would like it to be hyphen, Lewis Jupiter.
Okay. And ma'am, do you live in Dallas County?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll ask the father in a minute, but to your knowledge, does the father live in Dallas County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you okay with a geographic restriction of the child's address to Dallas and any county that touches Dallas? Are you okay with that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let's tell the judge why.
I would like there to be open ways for us to, wherever we need to move, we can move based off of just work reasons. Right now, I'm a teacher, and that kind of changes sometimes. And don't want to be restricted from where I can work. And honestly, who knows what the future holds? You know, I could want to move to a different community. Miley would want to move to a different community, and I don't believe that should be restricted just to Dallas.
Okay. And ma'am, is it true that you guys have been doing a 50-50 possession schedule?
The mother steps in calmly, confirming the basics: identity, paternity, and agreement on most terms. But then she slides in a subtle yet meaningful request, changing the child's last name to include both parents. It sounds small, but it's symbolic. This isn't just paperwork. It's about identity, recognition, and making sure her role is permanently stamped alongside the father's.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we, I guess, verbalize that we wanted to do.
Okay. Now, have you guys been doing that? How long have you guys been doing that 50-50 schedule?
I would say we've been doing that since Myleek's mother came to stay with him, live with him in Texas.
I don't know when that was, ma'am. So what
Yes, ma'am.
month and year?
I don't have the exact date, but I believe it was either early 2024 or late 2023. I don't have the exact date.
Remind me of the child's age.
She's 7.
Okay. And do you guys live close to each other? You and the father?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And does that work well since the child's enrolled in school?
Yes, ma'am. Because when transferring her from one parent to the other, it's a quick commute.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, do you want to continue the 1 week, the 50-50 possession schedule?
I do not.
Okay.
I would like there to be more consistency. We have done the 50-50, and from what I've seen and experienced, sometimes when I would call Elena, she would be, well, most times she'll be with her grandmother. But when she's with me, she's fully with me. And so I would like there to be more consistently with parents. I would like to have her more because right now I kind of feel like I'm not sharing the custody with Myleek per se, but and whenever he's not available, she's with his mom, and I would like to have her. I would like to spend more time with her.
Is there, besides that reason that you just testified to, is there another reason, and there doesn't have to be, but is there another reason why you want to stop doing the 50-50?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And ma'am, would you, if the judge, do you understand that if the judge orders the 50-50 to continue, that the state is going to request $0 for child support? Do you understand that?
I understand.
But do you understand that we have calculated child support in case the judge decides to award child support with you having primary custody of the child? The state, do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And we calculated child support in the amount of $1,123 per month. Are you in agreement with that if the judge decides to give you what you want, which is...
All right, guys, let's break this down. The judge wastes no time calling out the core issue. Why are they even arguing over back child support when they've been splitting everything 50/50? That opening alone sets the tone. The attorney lays out a near complete agreement, but the real tension sits in custody, money, and control. This case isn't about confusion, it's about someone trying to shift the balance late in the game.
No 50-50.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And ma'am, are you seeking retroactive support?
Yes, ma'am.
And why are you seeking retroactive support if you guys have been doing 50-50?
I'm seeking retroactive support because there was times we haven't always did 50-50, and there was times where I did need assistance, and he would provide some things, but it wasn't what we needed. And retroactive so that I can pay off the debt that I inquired in trying to not be evicted from our home. I had to pay with my credit card so that I could pay rent. And so in those moments, I believe that Miley should have helped me with all the things that we needed, even getting her supplies, like, and there's times where he did. And yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
that's basically what it is.
So you understand that the state has calculated an amount for retroactive support. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that when we calculated that retroactive support, that we did not include the year or so that you guys have been doing 50-50? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And that we gave the father credit $4,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And as such, our initial retroactive calculation for the judge's consideration is $36,428 to be paid off at $232. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your wish for the judge to enter that judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, do you have anything additional that the judge should know so that he can rule in your favor?
The mother steps in calmly, confirming the basic's identity, paternity, and agreement on most terms. But then she slides in a subtle yet meaningful request, changing the child's last name to include both parents. It sounds small, but it's symbolic. This isn't just paperwork, it's about identity, recognition, and making sure her role is permanently stamped alongside the father's.
Yes, I've always been my daughter's custodial parent. I would say, even when Miley and I were together, I would stay at home mom, and that we were always together. Even when things ended, she moved when I moved out of the home, lived with my parents, she was with me. I took care of her. Even when we moved to Texas, she was with me full time. And it wasn't until Miley's mom came that she was even able to go and spend consistent time, in which I felt was very necessary for her because she always desired to be around her dad. But yet I would still get that she desires to be around her dad, even when she's supposed to have that 50-50 time with her dad. So when I would have her, it would seem like she did spend time with others rather than not solely with her dad, but just majority of the time with her dad, because she still missed him. And I get, like, as children, we miss each other. You know, she missed her dad, she missed her mom, depending on what plays. But it was still very consistent. Like, as when she missed her when he wasn't, I wouldn't say that present, because he did come around and visit, but when she wasn't in his household to where she was in his household.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I will go ahead and pass this witness. I will call the father. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Malik Jupiter.
All right, Mr. Jupiter, and I know there's some things we don't agree on, but let's focus on the things that I announced as agreements.
Sure.
Earlier, I announced some agreements to Judge Aguilar. Are those your agreements?
Could you restate the agreements, please?
Yeah. You agree that there's been no family violence. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
And you agree that you carry health insurance for the child. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And sir, just give me 1 minute. You agree to joint managing conservatorship and that there be no medical support ordered?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
And you agree that you're the father of this child
Yes, yes, ma'am.
and a court cost is billed to you?
What is the court cost?
It's a one-time payment that is billed around 90 days from today.
What is that number? Do we have that number?
I don't. I will, besides that, let's put that as an issue for the judge to decide or explain. Do you
Sure.
agree with everything else I just said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's move on. Sir, do you live in Dallas County?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Are you asking for the child's address to be restricted to Dallas and surrounding counties?
I'm not asking for it to be restricted to Dallas or surrounding counties. However, my only restriction would be if both parents are not in the same state or location, if that makes sense.
Okay. And sir, are you requesting to continue with the 50-50 schedule?
Yes, ma'am. I am requesting to continue with the 50-50 schedule.
Okay. And sir, what is your opinion on the retroactive support?
I believe you said the retroactive support would be over $36,000. I think
That's what I announced, yes.
yes, that would be in consideration of my current income. However, I wasn't making this current income years prior. So I feel like that would not be correct or fair to me as a person.
Okay. When did you start making the income you're making today?
This year. And so
January, February, what month?
January. So my income would have increased over the previous year.
Okay. What was it before?
I think my salary last year was like $80,000. Probably a little bit more. I'm trying to remember.
1 second, sir.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, it should have been at least 90,000 actually. I'm remembering.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you have any other children, sir?
No, ma'am, just one, Elena Jupiter.
And do you understand that the gross amount for that I announced to the judge was $7,417. Did you hear that portion?
Yes.
And I just did a quick calculation with 90,000
Mhm.
and the gross would be 7,500. So
Okay.
it's about the same. Do you
Sure.
understand?
Sure, I see now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And sir, what is your response to the mother's testimony regarding, to any of her testimony?
Sure, yes. I would like to contest the geographic restrictions and the child support. And so I'll go with the first one, the geographic restrictions. And so I agree with Lyrica, the mother, that we don't want to be restricted to one area. And the only challenge that I have with that is I moved to Texas because of her. Years ago, when her stepfather was diagnosed with, stage 3, stage 4 cancer, she had to move to Texas, and, I was already in a career in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where we were living. I was working at another university, already in my career, but she asked me, could she move? And that would mean that Elena, or our child, would have to move too. And because I understood.
Your Honor, I'm going to withdraw the type of question I asked, and I'm going to ask a more pointed question if you don't mind, Your Honor.
Okay.
Sir, Do you want the child to be restricted to Texas?
No.
Are you planning to move outside of Texas?
I would only plan to move outside of Texas if it's in agreement with the other parent.
Okay, thank you. We'll let Judge decide on the geographic restriction in a moment. Sir, regarding, actually, I think I have enough. I pass this witness, Your Honor.
Could I
Now the first real clash appears. The mother pushes back on geographic restrictions, arguing she needs freedom to move for work and life changes. On paper, that sounds reasonable, but in custody cases, flexibility often collides with stability. What she frames as opportunity can easily look like unpredictability, and courts rarely gamble with that when a child's routine is involved.
so
Okay, let me talk, Mr. Jupiter. I think I'm gonna
Sure.
fix it here. Okay, so y'all are working pretty well together right now. It looks like I don't think we should change anything. When you're doing 50-50, or even if you're doing just regular visits and regular custody, like in a regular case, each parent is not to dictate to the other parent how they're supposed to spend their time. So
Right.
if they're working some of the time, like, then they leave the child with grandma, or they leave the child with a daycare place, or they leave the child at school, or things like that. That shouldn't be a penalty. There shouldn't be a penalty because you leave the child with somebody else. Now, obviously, we want parents to be involved as much as they can, but sometimes people work on the weekends, things like that, or they may want to do their own thing. I'm not making y'all account for each other every minute of the day. It shouldn't be a deal where we have to mandate that a parent be there at all times when the child is in the other parent's possession. That's not the way it works. Y'all are trusting each other to help raise this child. That means there's other people that are going to be involved, like grandparents and other relatives, and maybe even friends that are going to help you with, watching the child when you have something going on. I'm not going to penalize you both because you're doing that. So the requirement that you want, Miss Lewis, that only Mr. Jupiter can be the one with the child is a kind of an unfair and unusual request. That's not something that I'm going to grant. So y'all have been doing 50-50 for quite a long time. If it's been 2023, that's good. I like to see a history of it. I don't usually like people just to tell me they're going to do it, because gonna do it isn't the same as actually doing it. In my experience with all the family law cases I've done, a lot of people say they're going to do something like that, but then they don't actually do it. They just don't want to pay child support. But y'all have actually been doing it for over a year now, and it's been working for you. So my rule is you're going to be consistent with that. You're going to continue to do the 50-50. Y'all, so the parts y'all agreed to, those are fine, which is joint managing conservator, father to carry health insurance. Name change to Lewis-Jupiter sounds like a good agreement. That way the child will have both your last names. After you get a copy of the court order, one of you will need to take that order to the birth certificate office where the child was born and get the birth certificate amended. So that'll be an additional thing you'll have to do after that. And then you'll also need to notify the Social Security office after that's changed, after you get the new birth certificate, so they can update that as well. So there's still a little work to do on that part to get that done. It's not automatic. If y'all are doing 50-50, then obviously there shouldn't be any child support. And if y'all are doing 50-50, it doesn't make sense that we would have that y'all can move wherever you want to. Texas is a huge state, so it would be kind of impossible even if it was just Waco and Dallas for y'all to do 50-50. It wouldn't make a lot of sense, and it would be worse if it was somewhere even further than that. Our geographic restrictions are in place so that parents can both be actively involved with the child. We do contiguous counties, especially in Dallas, because as you probably have discovered since you've started living here, Dallas is not just Dallas. It's Fort Worth. It's Kaufman. It's Plano. It's a lot of a lot of cities around here. So it's still a big area, but it allows you to move wherever you like. If you're a teacher, then that means you can. There's a lot of school districts within all those counties. So I am making a geographic restriction to Dallas or any contiguous counties. And that's because y'all are doing 50-50. It's consistent with that. If you're going to live further away, then how would you do 50-50 if that was the case? So that doesn't make any sense. So again, though, if you reach agreements that y'all maybe both want to move or the other party's okay to move and you're okay with that, then y'all can do that on your own. But this is in case y'all cannot reach an agreement, then y'all have it. Then the mother or both of y'all need to stay in the DFW area. Really, what it boils down. Usually, we dictate that the custodial parent is, but really, it's based on both of you. So, if y'all need to talk with each other if you decide to move out of the area, because otherwise, then you're not going to be doing 50-50. Y'all have been doing split for a while, so I don't understand why we're even talking about back child supports. Y'all have been splitting the cost 50-50. Maybe one of you makes more money than the other, but I don't usually try to do a difference in what it should have been if one person makes more than the other. So I'm not granting any retroactive supports. Okay, so this will put y'all at a zero. There won't be any monthly amounts. Mr. Jupiter, you will pay court costs. Dallas County will have to dictate to you how much that is, and they'll give you time to pay that off. It shouldn't be a huge amount, maybe 200 or $300, and it'll be just a one-time thing. And they'll probably give you time to pay it if you can't pay it in full. So they'll dictate to that. Every case is a little different, so I don't know what the exact amount will be. Somewhere around there. So that'll be the only really money obligation, and then we'll go like this until y'all change something. If at some point y'all cannot do the 50-50, then that would be a good reason to do something different. But y'all need to discuss it with each other and see what works best for you and also what works best for the child as well. All right. The Attorney General's office will draft an order based on that and email you both a copy. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor.
This is where things get interesting. Despite a working 50-over-50 custody setup, the mother suddenly wants out. Her reasoning? The child sometimes spends time with the father's mother instead of him.